Hello everyone, that's just water. This is a Purge video, Purge number 3. There may be another one in the future. As I mentioned before, I'm kind of out of space. I keep doing things to sort of salvage a little bit of space here and there, which is interesting. But what I've done is I pulled more records off the shelf that I am sure I will never listen to. Now, there may be records in here that you've seen previously because I had 2 copies in some cases, so that could happen. But to be fair, or to be honest, there's still a crate here that you cannot see of records I purged previously that are still in the house because I haven't taken the next step of actually getting rid of them, although some I did get rid of. Some of them were in really rough shape, I did. But there are a few I'm deciding if it's worth bothering taking them to a record store or not. I might get a couple dollars here and there. So let's go through this weird pile of discards. And we'll start with the Canadian singer that I sort of like and sort of dislike, and that is Bryan Adams. And I mean, I do have many of his records, and some of them I quite like, and some just don't do anything for me at all. This is from his, I guess, the period where he became a superstar with Reckless. So this is an EP of 3 tracks featuring Diana and the huge hit Summer of '69. Which is fair enough and fine, but the 3rd track on side 2 is called the Bryan Adams Mix. Maybe you don't know this track. It's hard to even describe it. There's a track listing. And so if you look below the track listing, it says, Somebody, It's Only Love, Diana, Fits You Good, and Somebody. And essentially what that is they piece together bits of those songs in some sort of crazy medley, which is like Super Bowl, but worse. You know, it's the halftime show. I don't really understand why they did it. It's 5 minutes and 52 seconds of what I would describe as torture. It's terrible. I don't know why I bought this. I guess I bought it because at the time I was a fan and thought it would be interesting to have. This is not really worth anything. So I'm going to move that along because I think it's terrible. Here's a record I bought in the thrift store, and I bought it because Murray had, of course, had a lot of fame for the track One Night in Bangkok from Chess, and I thought this would be interesting. I played it once and was unimpressed. I think this is from 1976, and it's called Say It Ain't So, and I didn't really love it. It probably would have deserved another listen, but I couldn't be bothered. And well, here we go. The Vinyl Museum. I've talked about this shop many, many times. There were 3 locations at one time in Toronto, I think. And at one point there was a location in Florida. I used to live very, very close to this location on Bloor Street, like a 5-minute walk. So I was there frequently in the early 90s, buying all sorts of interesting records for almost no money. But that's not where I got it. I got this many years later at a thrift store, and yeah, it didn't do anything for me, so I'm going to move that one along. Here was a 12-inch single from Aerosmith. Dude Looks Like a Lady. I do really like some Aerosmith music, especially the early stuff, but Dude Looks Like a Lady and Love in an Elevator, I just never got. I thought it was kind of silly. And here, this came to me free in a box of records. This is, I guess, the low point of 12-inch singles. I love 12-inch singles because you often get an extended mix of something and maybe a B-side or something you've never heard before, maybe a live track. But this has side 1, Dude Looks Like a Lady, the Urban Dude Mix. Dude Looks Like a Lady, the Dude This Way Mix. A track called Cimaraya, I don't remember what that is. Side B, Dude Looks Like a Lady, Extended Rockin' Dude Mix. And then finally, Dude Looks Like a Lady, the Rockin' Dude Edit. I mean, really, who is going to listen to that? Even if you like the song, you're going to listen to 4 edits of the same track. On the other hand, it's in pretty great shape. On Geffen Records here. Probably not worth anything, but I guess that has yet to be determined. And then we're going to move into an artist where I have several records. And, you know, for a while I was buying these records in thrift shops because I thought, you know, he's kind of an interesting guy. I like his voice, and I do like some of the music. But then I realized after years that I just don't pull these records out. Frank Sinatra. This is Sinatra's. Now, I am keeping one Frank Sinatra record, and that is I have a copy of this on MoFi, the only MoFi recording I have. But so there's no real good reason for me to keep this. So this has I've Got You Under My Skin, Young at Heart, Those are probably the two most well-known ones. Has someone's name written here, Moore. And on the Reprise label, it's in really good shape. This came out in 67 or something. Am I totally making that up? I don't know. Terrible, flimsy, really flimsy sleeve. I remember talking about this particular one in a video some time ago. Some nice things I've missed from Frank Sinatra. Still in the shrink wrap. This is 86, I think. Something. Well, it doesn't tell me, actually. I'm not sure. No, 1974. Wow, totally wrong. Yeah, I bought this in a thrift store thinking I would like it, but I didn't really look at the track listing. And when I looked at the track listing, I was kind of horrified because it has Sweet Caroline, the Neil Diamond track, which I detest with a passion. It's got Tie a Yellow Ribbon Around the Old Oak Tree, a song that my dad played so many times that I just can't stand it. It's going to get stuck in my brain even now. You Are the Sunshine of My Life. Does anybody want to hear that? Apart from anyone other than Stevie Wonder. Bad Bad Leroy Brown. Probably the worst John Croce song, even though I do like John Croce. Reprise labels. These Sinatra records are in pretty good shape. So, but I can see that I will never listen to that. So why take up valuable shelf space for something like that? And then we have My Way from Frank Sinatra. There's no inner sleeve in this one, I just noticed. Reprise label. And of course it has My Way, leads off track 2, or side 2, for Once in My Life. Yesterday, which I gather is the Lennon McCartney track, and then he covers Mrs. Robinson from Simon and Garfunkel. I mean, there's certain tracks that I don't think people should cover. I don't think anyone should cover Yesterday or Mrs. Robinson. I hate that version of Mrs. Robinson that's played on the radio up here. Some rock band did it. I think it's awful. Frank Sinatra's Greatest Hits. No inner sleeve in this one either. His greatest hits are Strangers in the Night. It Was a Very Good Year, etc. Something Stupid with Nancy Sinatra. It goes on. I don't know all these tracks. This Town is on here. I haven't played a Sinatra record in I don't know how long. This is a self-titled Frank Sinatra record. I don't know anything about it. Autumn in New York, Among My Souvenirs. Begin to Begin, that's the Cole Porter track, right? Let's see if that's true. Yes. You got Rodgers and Hammerstein on here as well. Yeah, I don't know if I've ever played this one. No inner sleeve again, but the record looks to be okay. Frank Sinatra, The Voice, with My Way, Bad Bad Leroy Brown, I've Got You Under My Skin, Yesterday, Strangers in the Night, The Girl from Ipanema, The Lady is a Tramp, Send in the Clowns. What a terrible song Send in the Clowns is. Come on. I'm not insulting any Frank Sinatra. A little bit of a different Reprise label there. Frank Sinatra lovers out there, but I mean, I do like him. I think he's got a great voice. I have a compact disc box set of Frank Sinatra, the V discs, which I think is kind of V. Is that what it's called? I think it's pretty interesting. 2 sensational albums in one package. Those are Try a Little Tenderness and Nevertheless I'm in Love with You are the 2 records in here. And My Blue Heaven shows up here. Try a Little Tenderness. September Song. I guess that's the Kurt Weill song. From This Moment On. Yeah, The Lady is a Tramp. Just pull out one of these Capitol labels. So I think that's it for the Frank Sinatra. Stray Cats. Rant and rave with the Stray Cats. And the reason I'm getting rid of this is because I have a copy, and this is a spare copy. This, I believe, is the Record Club edition. I have the original Canadian pressing of this. Nice inner sleeve on that. I really do like the Stray Cats. So the only reason I'm getting rid of this is because it's a duplicate, but the funny thing is it's not my only duplicate. I have a lot of duplicates, so we will see how that goes. But yeah, that's a good one. That might be worthy of a trip to a record store to see if they would give me $2 or $3 for it. Christine McVie, formerly of Life, formerly of Fleetwood Mac. You know, I really only know the Fleetwood Mac era of Rumors and the one before it, and I've never heard Tusk. I don't like solo Stevie Nicks. I've heard this once or twice. Obviously, it didn't make a big impression on me. This is 84, and yeah, I guess she has a good voice. But I can't see myself listening to it. It doesn't really fit into my musical worldview. So that's one I will move along. And now I'm going to have to make apologies to fans of this band, because I know this band has a lot of fans in the VC, and I just never really loved this band. I mean, back in whenever it was, someone gave me a copy of Cornerstone from the band Styx, and I got rid of it within a couple of years because it had that irritating song Babe on it, which I still can't stand. But here we have not Cornerstone, we have Pieces of Eight in the gatefold here. And yeah, I think some people just love Styx, and I'm finding myself ambivalent to them, which might seem strange. So what's the big track on here? Oh yeah, Renegade. I guess that's the one. Blue Collar Man. Pieces of Eight. Here we go. Yeah, not a terrible band. I just never reached for their records, ever. And I don't even know how I got these Styx records, to be honest. Who knows? Here we have The Grand Illusion from Styx, 77. Of course, the big track here is probably... what is the big track here? Come Sail Away. It has to be Come Sail Away. Yeah, when I was a kid, I had friends who just loved this band, and I always maybe got a little tired of the slow intro and then the speeded up part, like this languishing sort of intro, and then let's play a lot faster now. That seemed to be the the shtick from Styx, apart from Babe, which was slow and boring all the way through. So The Grand Illusion, I'm having trouble getting this back in. Let's go on. Okay. Equinox from Styx. And I guess this one is Light Up, Lorelei. Those are probably the big tracks. Oh, there's two inserts in here that are the same, although one's thicker than the other. Lyrics on the back. That's weird. And this is on yellow vinyl. So, yeah. What's your favorite Styx record? I don't know. Paradise Theater, or is it This Way? Or is it This Way? Paradise Theater. What's on here? What is it? Rockin' the Parrot. Too Much Time on My Hands. Yeah, I guess that's a track that got a lot of airplay. Nice polyline sleeve, though. Paradise Theater. I'm trying to remember when the last time I played these, or if I've ever played them. And, so, yeah, apologies to the Styx fans. I know there's a lot of you out there, and just never really did anything for me, to be honest. All right. Again, I know some people out there love Elvis Presley. And to be honest, I do like Elvis Presley. The funny thing is, for me, my brother, who's older than me, decided that almost immediately upon hearing of Elvis Presley's death, that he was the biggest Elvis Presley fan in the world, and started buying every record he could find. And let me tell you, there are a lot of Elvis records. a lot came out after he died. So my brother was this collector and player of records and 8-track tapes, and I got really sick of it. But here we have on memory, Our Memories of Elvis Volume 2, more of the pure Elvis sound. And, you know, there are a lot of Elvis songs I've never heard, despite having all those, all that exposure to Elvis tracks. Let's see. Just Elvis singing as he did in the recording studio, the pure Elvis without the additional accompaniment. Green Green Grass of Home, which is a cover version, of course. She Wears My Ring. There's a Honky Tonk Angel. Don't Think Twice, It's All Right. I guess that's a Bob Dylan song. Of course, I would have to actually find it to tell you that. But I can't see it here. Yes, Bob Dylan. This gold RCA label. This is in really good shape, though. So Elvis, Our Memories of Elvis. My memories of Elvis are all my brother's memories of Elvis. Someone has written their name on here, but I can't really read it. All right. We're falling down. Elvis, A Legendary Performer, Volume 3, with more names here and scribbling here. This is a curious thing because it's a limited edition picture disc with 8 previously unavailable performances and an exclusive interview with Elvis and the Colonel. So the interview with Elvis and the Colonel is just over 7 minutes. It has Hound Dog on here. It has a bunch of unreleased things like a track called Danny, Fame and Fortune, Frankfurt Special, Britches. Then there's Guadalajara, It Hurts Me, Let Yourself Go, Let It Be Me. I don't know if those showed up somewhere else later on. Obviously, it's a picture disc, and I'm going to assume that it sounds terrible because, you know, early picture disc, but also it doesn't look like it was taken care of. You can see lots of scratches on it. So that's a curiosity for sure. Love Letters from Elvis, continuing the Elvis theme here. We have Got My Mojo Working, When I'm Over You, Heart of Rome. I'm not going to read them all out, but weirdly, or maybe appropriately, Return to Sender is not on here, because that would be quite the stab in the heart if you wrote a love letter and they sent it back. But If I Were You, Life, don't know when this came out. Very nice looking. It's in great shape though. Most of these Elvis records are in really good shape. All right, Love Letters from Elvis. Be a lot faster if I didn't stop to put these back in every single time, right? February 1970, Elvis on Stage, which has CC Rider, Release Me, Let Me Love Again, Sweet Caroline, oh my God, Runaway, The Wonder View, Polk Salad Annie. Now that original one is actually a pretty good track. Yesterday, Proud Mary, Walk a Mile in My Shoes, etc. Recorded on stage at the International Hotel, Las Vegas, Nevada. Gold-ish RCA labels. All right, so continuing with apologies to Elvis fans here, because I think I've irritated the Frank Sinatra fans, the Elvis fans. Elvis, He Touched Me, which I gather is some sort of religious... he looks like he's ready to go to church in both of those photos. So, How Great Thou Art, sung by Elvis. His band, His Hand Is Mine by Elvis. So these are very religious titles. He Touched Me, I Got Confidence, Amazing Grace, Seeing is Believing, He Is My Everything, Bosom of Abraham, An Evening Prayer, Lead Me, Guide Me, There Ain't No God But God, a Thing Called Love, I, John, Reach Out to Jesus. I've never been a fan of any kind of gospel music. But maybe you are, which is fine, of course. I doubt any of these. I doubt anything I've showed so far is worth any money. Here we have 50 million Elvis fans. Cannot be wrong, including the original Shrink. But I don't know if this is an original or a later pressing. It doesn't really say, but it does say this is from the originators of electronically processed or reprocessed stereo, which is a result of a lengthy research and experimentation in the development of an electronic process that transforms monographic recordings to two-channel recordings with stereophonic characteristics. It goes on and on in this giant paragraph over here. So what's on here? Fool Such As I Need Your Love Tonight, Wear My Ring Around Your Neck, Big Hunk of Love. Yeah. I have played this at some point in my life. I don't know how long I've had it. Yeah. All right. I think we're getting near the end of the Elvis records. Okay. We have Elvis. 2 big LPs. Stereo effect reprocessed from monographic. And I guess it's just called Elvis. Double record, which has, judging by the track listing here, it says 2 record set as advertised on TV, which is important because you want things that were advertised on TV. Hound Dog, All Shook Up, Return to Sender, Don't Be Cruel, Jailhouse Rock, Can't Help Falling in Love, Let Me Be Your Teddy Bear, Love Me Tender, etc., Surrender. 2 records, both on this orange RCA label. Again, both look in really fantastic shape. So, I'll do that later. That one's going to be tricky. Elvis Forever. 2 record set. Doesn't say as advertised on television though. No date on the back. It's Canadian pressing with big tracks like GI Blues, Blue Hawaii, Are You Lonesome Tonight, A Fool Such As I, Suspicion, Puppet on a String, Heartbreak Hotel, Blue Suede Shoes, In the Ghetto, Tutti Frutti, Wear My Ring Around Your Neck. Again, very similar to the last record. Similar labels as well. Black vinyl. And then we have Elvis in Hollywood. 20 original hits from his motion pictures, including special TV edition photo album as advertised. I'm assuming it means as advertised on TV, but I don't know. Elvis in Hollywood. 10 tracks on either side. So we've got Jailhouse Rock, Rockahula Baby, G.I. Blues, Kissin' Cousins, Wild in the Country, Kid Creole, Blue Hawaii, Fun in Acapulco, Follow That Dream, Girls, 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 Viva Las Vegas. I'm getting tired of reading them. Girl Happy. Yeah. And in here we have, so we have the record. Nice, looks in good shape. And the bonus is that this special TV edition photo album is actually here, which might be rare. Because aren't these things often missing? Look at that. Whew. Elvis, Elvis, Elvis. All right, Elvis in Hollywood. That's the end of the Elvis. But I still have more people to offend. So here are some records that, again, I just don't get the band, or I don't know. The Moody Blues, Days of Future Past, includes Nights in White Satin, which is probably the song that people know best from this band. I have listened to this on more than one occasion because I've always felt like it's a record that I need to like or to understand or to appreciate, and I failed to do all of those things. I listen to it and think, interesting. I'm sort of happy when we get to the Nights in White Satin because it actually is a song I recognize, and then I get bored. Well, that's actually the last track, so I guess I'm bored all the way through. On this Durham label. So yeah, I don't know. Boring, I guess, is a word I would use for it. Maybe I just don't understand it, because I know some people are just giant fans of this band. And then, if that isn't enough, another copy, and they're identical. Same label, same imprint. I'm assuming they're the same. I didn't look at the matrix area, but it looks like the same. Moody Blues, On the Threshold of a Dream, for 1969. They look pretty fabulous there. I don't recognize any of the tracks listed here, but maybe if I listened to it I would. And I think I have in the past, but Durham label again. So the Moody Blues. Have I irritated any Moody Blues fans so far? So we have 7th Sojourn from the Moody Blues. Do I recognize? I don't. Well, I guess I'll answer. I don't recognize the tracks on here. But here's something interesting. If you look at the sticker, it says property of CBC Record Library, Toronto, November 15th, 1978. At some point, maybe I'm going to guess 15 years ago, I could be wrong on that, the CBC Record Library eliminated every record from their collection. They just got rid of them. And so they ended up all over the city in various record stores. So I have a number of them that have this sticker on it. I have even a John Cale record that has a sticker on it from the CBC Record Library. And the good thing is they're all in fantastic shape. I think they were treated very well. Sometimes there are 2 stickers. So I never hesitated in the past to buy anything that was formerly from the CBC Record Library, because that sticker is easy to take off with Goo Gone and it leaves no residue. So I've always, if there's something I wanted that had the CBC label, I would just get it. There's another one. They have a barcode here. I don't remember if the barcode came off easily on the other one, but CBC Record Library. The Moody Blues octave from I don't know when, gatefold, and what is on here? There's no record sleeve. There's no inner sleeve in here. I don't recognize these tracks either. Although I can't speak. I know I played it at least once. So, and just to make it a little more confusing, we have a slightly water damaged, maybe perhaps water damaged version of octave that's on blue vinyl. So let's pull that out. Yes, lovely blue vinyl. So that's interesting. Possibly had some water, maybe. The Moody Blues, The Other Side of Life, 1986. Again, I guess I don't know very many Moody Blues songs. Very blue label, though. All right. That's the Moody Blues. Oh, wait. This one I thought I was done. To our children's children from the Moody Blues. I guess there's some sort of weird painting happening back here. And looking down, I don't think I know these tracks. Isn't that weird how I know so little about a band I have so many records from? Did I say this already? Like, wouldn't it be funny if, a few years from now I decide that I'm like a big fan of the Moody Blues and I just got rid of all these Moody Blues records? Wouldn't I be irritated? It's like when you sell CDs, you sell records to buy CDs and you realize you'd prefer to have the record. Okay, and lastly, Long Distance Voyager from the Moody Blues. And I mentioned this in a video a while ago because I did sort of a random poll. And I do remember the track, The Voice. That got a lot of radio play around here. So that is it. I don't know how many there are. That is my plan to eliminate these records from the house. If you think I'm crazy, let me know. So you think there's something I should really keep or listen to one more time, please let me know and I will maybe do that. In the meantime, thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next video.